What up, what up? It's your favorite CPA here, talking about some cryptos. Trying to give you guys some information, some value about how I see the crypto market and the way it moves. I'm gonna give you some little tips over here. So if you take a look over here, I'm gonna just explain how Bitcoin moves and basically all the cryptos move. Because it always just goes into a boom, then a bust, and a consolidation phase. That's what happens every fucking time. So let's look at it like 30 times right now. So you know what? Let's start here. Boom, bust, consolidation phase. Sometimes it takes it long. It took longer back then, back in like 2016, 15. There was a huge consolidation phase. That shit took like a year, but now it's pretty fast. So consolidation, boom, bust, consolidation into the next boom, bust, consolidation into the next boom, bust, boom, consolidation, bust, consolidation, boom, bust, consolidation, boom, bust, consolidation, boom, and we busted. Ooh, and this is the consolidation point now. I think we're getting set for the next boom, honestly. This was creating a pennant formation, which is a bullish uh, technical analysis trend kind of pattern, where the highs keep getting lower and the lows keep getting higher. Um, Also, it was like wedging, the same thing. You should really look out for when the highs keep getting lower and the lows keep getting higher, and it tries to find a price. That's like the consolidation period, because that's usually when you're going to find a breakout, which is what happened right here. It was getting wedged, and when the price starts wedging in and it finds that price right there, it was basically around 14,000, like 600 or 800 around here, in between 15,000 and 14,000. Um, get the fuck out of here. So once it started to wedge like that and it found a price, it broke out. Sometimes it breaks out to the bottom to the bearish side. This time it broke up to the upside. So I was watching for that. Once it started to break out, I was buying here. Right now it's around 17,000, and I think it's going to go to 20,000 honestly pretty soon because there's no resistance or support over here. So I think it's going to test 20,000. It could either break off to new highs or it could come down, go back to 17,000. And then I don't really see it going down anytime soon. Like anytime, any value lower than that. At at the least, I see it go down to 15,000. I really don't see it coming back to 13,000 anymore. But if it does, it's going to have a lot of support. Um, okay, so that's that. That's what's happening right now. Boom bust consolidation about to boom right now. So I kind of wanted to give you a couple more tips on how. So this is a big thing on how the market moves in cryptos. So it's kind of like a seesaw. There's kind of like a seesaw between Bitcoin and altcoins. So whenever Bitcoin goes up, usually altcoins go down because people are taking their altcoins and they're buying Bitcoin because they see that going up. So they FOMO into Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin rises and rises until it hits a certain point, and then it starts to sell off. Uh, and usually either people are taking profits or they're selling Bitcoin to buy altcoins. So then altcoins go up and Bitcoin goes down. So honestly, if you see that right here, so let me show you on the chart because it's pretty simple to see. So whenever Bitcoin is going up, people take their altcoins and then they start buying Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin keeps going up, and people either, oh, sorry. So people either buy Bitcoin uh, using altcoins, their gains from altcoins, or there's the other people, the newer people who kind of see this growth and they start to FOMO in honestly, or they research, they see the project, they see that Bitcoin is fucking changing the world and it's revolutionizing finance, and then they start buying, and then it goes up and up and up. Then once it hits a certain point, it starts to sell off, and people take their Bitcoin, and because a lot of altcoins, you have to use Bitcoin to buy altcoins. So people take their Bitcoin and they sell off and they buy altcoins. That's definitely what happened over here in December. This big one, and then this big one. It was just a sell-off into altcoins, and that's why altcoins were booming. That's why altcoins were going up so crazy, and the market caps were getting out of hand. So as the market caps were getting out of hand, I was looking at that. So before this started to boom, I started to buy Bitcoin because I knew that altcoins were way too overvalued, and that's the seesaw shit that was going to happen again. So once altcoins were way too high, I was taking my altcoin gains and buying cheap Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin is going to rise, altcoin is going to fall. Then when Bitcoin's worth a lot, I'm going to take my expensive Bitcoin and buy cheap altcoins and just keep going up like that. And the price just keeps rising, honestly, because so I think the price keeps rising because these lows are always higher than the old highs. And this is because when people start buying it, they sell it off, but not all of it. People hold some of their Bitcoin, like me, like most people. So you can't buy some of that Bitcoin that people are holding. So that's going to raise the price. Um, so that's why Bitcoin just keeps going up in value, and then it sells off into altcoins. Then it's just that seesaw again and again and again. But it's going to keep going up because some people are holding their Bitcoin also. Um, so that's why I think it's going to grow in value. And as Bitcoin just keeps going up in value, then altcoins are going to be worth more too because they're based on how much Bitcoin is worth. So if Bitcoin just keeps going up, they're also going to go up relative as well. So that's the way I see it. You could easily see it over here that when Bitcoin, so this is the BTC dominance, this is the percentage of total market cap. Um, Bitcoin's obviously the big ass orange one. Um, as it starts to sell off, altcoins start to gain traction and keep going higher and higher until there's a point where they start taking profits and then they start putting it back into Bitcoin. And then it happens again. So when Bitcoin goes down, people are buying altcoins. And then when altcoins hit this mark, people start to sell off and buy Bitcoin again. This was the biggest one in May and also in December. December was it's crazy because the BTC dominance right now is 36%. It's been holding over 50%. Like it's usually over 50%. It only dipped under there in May, but it dipped even further down. Altcoins are just going to keep eating at Bitcoin's dominance. I still think Bitcoin's going to be the top coin, but as there's more and more coins being developed, more good projects that are gaining a lot of valuation, it's just going to eat up at the dominance. But as of now, buy low, sell high. I'm buying Bitcoin because the dominance is the lowest it's ever been, and altcoins are pretty much the highest it's ever been. So it doesn't make sense to me right now. So I just see that seesaw, and every time one thing's high, I sell it into the other thing that's low, and just keep doing it over and over and over again. That's my take. Also, the last thing that I wanted to go over is that Bitcoin and Litecoin follow each other, but Litecoin follows Bitcoin, and it takes a little bit. Like Litecoin will follow it like the next day or like the next couple days. So you could see that as this one goes, as Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin is the candles, Litecoin is the line. Bitcoin went up that day, then literally the next day or two, Litecoin makes that move. Then Bitcoin went up again, and then the next day or two, Litecoin makes that move. Bitcoin went down the next day or two, Litecoin makes that move. So it also makes those moves with higher percentages, so that's why I fuck with Litecoin. Um, and I honestly just started buying Litecoin over here because we see that boom, bust, consolidation phase, and then it was wedging into this price. So I knew that it was going to break out. So I was buying at like 240, 250. It's at 279 over here. It almost, I think it might have hit 300 or almost 300. I think when Bitcoin gets to 20,000, Litecoin is also going to test its highs at 400, and that's like almost double. Well, it's not almost double now, but it's at least 30 to 40%, and that's a huge gain. That's a huge fucking gain. I came from the stock market where 10% a year is good, so that's what I'm looking at. You should definitely use Bitcoin as a trajectory as altcoins as well as Litecoin. Litecoin's going to follow it like the day after or the week after. So that's my little tip. I hope you guys like it, subscribe it, and I'll see y'all later.